We don't wanna be enemies. I go men with me, I go wings.
You gon' step in my ship, you gon' mess with the king.
Welcome to more Fanime. What's up, everybody? Today I want to review chapter 1078 of the One Piece manga. Yes! It finally dropped. I've been waiting. I've been gritting my teeth, just waiting to finally find out who the traitor is amongst the Vegapunks. And now we know. But before I get into spoiler territory, do not forget to comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this chapter if you've already read it. Otherwise, I suggest you do before I finish my review, because shit's gonna go down. We're gonna learn some things, and I think that chapter 1079 is gonna be a big motherfucking deal. Unless Oda decides to jump and do something else for a hot minute, because we know there's so many dangling threads right now with Kid and Law and Blackbeard and Garp and Kobe and Akainu and Aokiji and Kizaru. I mean, they're all coming together all at once. I have a feeling Egghead Island is almost over. I feel like we've gone through what we had to go through. But the cover, chapter 1078, Escape Limit. Germa 66's emotionless voyage or excursion, whatever you want to call it. The formation of Neomads. Yes! It looks like Judge and Caesar have united in their hatred for Dr. Vegapunk and have reformed Mads. My only question is, are they gonna go find Queen and really build the trifecta? The three pillars of Mads reunited once again? Or is Queen gonna be forgotten and thrown into Impel Down after his duel with Green Bull many chapters ago? That's just something we're going to have to find out in the future, but I'm hoping Queen joins this trio. Otherwise, I hope these two end up being, scientists for somebody like Blackbeard or the Gorosei, depending on what happens with this Egghead Island arc and the Vegapunk traitor, who also could be the scientist for the Gorosei, which would make the most sense according to what's going on right now. But this chapter kicks off with our boy Sentomaru, who is still alive, doing great, even though he took that death blow from Lucci not too long ago. But he's doing good. He's feeling better. He's talking to Stussy. Stussy's with Jinbei. They're running around looking for the Stella body for the OG Vegapunk, and she lets old Sentomaru on in a little fact that maybe she should have brought up earlier. Kizaru is on his way along with the biggest Buster Call ever seen. The reasoning is that this Buster Call, the Super Buster Call is what I'm gonna deem it, is bigger, badder, and better than the one that attacked Ohara, because Ohara didn't have the resources to fight back. But Vegapunk and Egghead Island do. They have the Seraphim, they have the Pacifistas, they have the Vegapunks and their giant sea beast mechanical army things that were fighting them at the beginning of the story. They have weapons, is what I'm trying to get at, so that's why they're going to send an admiral and not just vice admirals, and many more ships than before. They're coming down to lay down the hammer onto Egghead Island and eliminate them Vegapunks. So after that, Sentomaru tells everybody, do you believe me now? It's time to evacuate. Do you listen? Open up your ears and close your mouths. Nameless people of Egghead Island that I have no facts about, because not one of you was developed throughout this story other than the Vegapunks on this island. We need to get out of here. So they're all going to try and get out of here before the Super Buster Call, before they're erased from history. Hopefully Sentomaru, with the help of the pacifistas, will be able to save these poor red shirts, these people who really don't matter in the long run, but will matter if, lots of deaths and whatnot. We'll see, they could all die. Could be a genocide of the Egghead Island scientists and whatnot, these very smart citizens. After that, we jump back to our group with Frankie and Nami and Usopp. Oh, no, not Nami. Usopp and God, what's her name? The evil Lilith, yes, Lilith. Lilith and Usopp are stone. Frankie is half stone. He's like, whoa, this is not super. I only have half my body right now. If you turn me back unpetrified, I can forgive you, S-Snake. But no, that ain't happening. S-Snake decides to destroy Pythagoras, the other Vegapunk. I really do hope Pythagoras is dead. He's been teased a few times. It's time to start dropping these Vegapunks like flies. We don't need all these fuckers, in my opinion. One is enough to live on the Vegapunk legacy for me. From there, we get to see our girl Nico Robin along with Chopper teaming up. Chopper just being Chopper when he's not doctoring, he's tagging along. Led by Atlas, the wrathful Atlas, who survived also a death blow from Lucci earlier in this arc. She thinks maybe we should check that underground lab that we haven't looked at in a long time that's been sealed off. Maybe the Stella body is there. That's the one place we haven't looked. I guess maybe we should look there. So she's going to lead them there. So there's a good chance Nico Robin, who debuted an Egghead Island looking like a badass, threatening to kill Lilith and fight back when she threatened to kill her and the rest of her crew. So I would love to see Robin come in and fight the traitor one-on-one. That would be fun. Honestly, if Robin was the one to beat the evil Vegapunk, I'm ready for it. Give Robin a major victory. Come on, Oda. You want to do it. We all want it. Let's see it. After that, we get to see Nami checking on Pythagoras? Yeah, it looks like she's checking on Pythagoras. The same one, huh? That's weird. Oh, maybe it's the other one. Edison. Yeah, she's checking on Edison because she's with the other group. Hanging out also with Brook, who seems pretty beat up. He's in his spiritual form, but they're all just kind of witnessing the Chadley badassery of Sanji as he's getting punched repeatedly, I assume, in the face by Jinbei, which I forgot to mention that Sanji's little eyebrow twirl reversed last chapter. I didn't notice it last time, but now I do. So his Germa 66, scientific blood enhancements have all been activated, and now he's got a exoskeleton, is what I'm guessing, along with a combination of his hockey, I'm sure, in some way, shape, or form. I am curious if this is all Germa 66 boosts. How would the Germa 66 members deal with the Seraphim? Could they take on one? Maybe by themselves? Maybe not. Maybe not with Sanji's experience in battle and his hockey abilities as well. It does help. But he takes a full-on strike to the face from S-Shark, who's a tough SOB, as shown during the battles that have gone on so far in Egghead Island, with Hawk and S-Bear going toe-to-toe with Luffy and Lucci and Kaku and Zorro, and they are having a rough time. I'm hoping that Sanji actually defeats this Jinbei Seraphim. I wouldn't be mad if he killed this Jinbei Seraphim, so we just have one Jinbei. I'm done with these clones. I'm done with them. Done with the clones. Don't need them anymore in my life. They're not necessary. There's enough villains in the story that need development, like the admirals, who are underutilized right now. Maybe it's just a matter of time. Maybe the next arc. We have Kizaru on his way, as mentioned. Very excited for that bout to happen. Been waiting for that battle, for Kizaru to finally rise to the top as one of the best villains in the entire series, as he always has been. From there, though, Sanji gets punched in the face, and he says, "Do you understand the power of love, baby Jinbei?" From there, we see Zorro and Luffy struggling against their Seraphim counterparts, and they notice that S-Hawk has escaped, probably headed towards their weaker allies to disgruntle the stronger allies, as mentioned by Lucci. Very smart maneuver, very smart tactic. Take down the weak ones, pick them off one by one, make Luffy go crazy, loses effing loving mind. Zorro decides, without orders from Luffy, to go after S-Hawk. Kind of would have been cool if Luffy was the one to give that captain command. But it's fine. Zorro can make his own decisions. He is the right-hand man to the future king of the pirates. Zorro heads on out towards S-Hawk, and it was really funny, laugh out loud funny, when Luffy tells Usopp to follow him, Usopp meaning Kaku, because Luffy can never remember people's names and only calls them by their appearances, and Kaku has a long nose just like Usopp does, so it's a funny gag that kind of a callback to Water 7, baby. And he's like, who are you calling Usopp? But it was really funny because he's like, hey, Usopp, follow Zoro because he will get lost immediately. Which is true. So maybe I'm kind of excited for this little split up because I want to see Kaku and Zoro have a conversation. Same with Lucci and Luffy. Mostly Kaku and Zoro will be kind of fun to hear from because I've always felt like Kaku has a deeper character than he has been given. If that makes sense, like after his loss with Zoro back at Enies Lobby when he was pretty sad when he got fired by Galley Law. You know, he was like, you know, I kind of liked being a shipwright. That was kind of relaxing. He seems like a good guy. Same with Lucci. I feel like Lucci's been, you know, used his entire life as an orphan murder machine, so maybe he can also have a redemption as well here with Luffy. It's not my personal choice for them to be forced to team together this way. Maybe a different way. Maybe by choice by Kaku and Lucci, but I like that they're teaming up, and I hope good things come from it. I hope these Seraphim get absolutely destroyed. Rooting for it. Don't need them. We get to see a flashback to 3 months ago. Basically what I get from this, 3 months ago, one of the Vegapunks, our traitor, called the Gorosei, called the government, really let them know that, you know, Vegapunk is researching the Void Century and he's getting close to actually discovering some shiz. So, he calls multiple times. Eventually, they send a bunch of CP agents. They keep getting captured by this same person who's calling the government, trying to get them to send someone stronger, I'm guessing. So they finally send CP0. But I don't think this traitor expected that at the exact same time, Luffy and the gang would also be showing up at Egghead Island, which really threw off her plans. Yes, I admit it. It's a girl. It's York. York is the traitor, the one who likes to eat a lot and shit. That's the one, the most unexpected of the Vegapunks. My personal favorite satellite body. York is the traitor, and is creepy as all heck in this whole chapter as she admits that Shaka is dead because she did shoot him in the head. I'm hoping Shaka's actually dead. I really am. I don't need any more from Shaka. I don't. He's not secretly the villain, so he's not necessary. He's a great person to go out at right now. Go out on top. Go out when you're shrouded with mystery, Shaka. But she basically tells OG Vegapunk, hey, I'm the greedy York, and I want it all. I want to be Vegapunk. I want to be the only Vegapunk. There only should be one Vegapunk, and I'm going to be a celestial dragon. So it makes total sense for someone like that to want everything. To be eventually the celestial dragon, maybe eventually try to overthrow Im. The current leader of the Gorosei. I could see her, if she got what she wanted and she did become a celestial dragon, eventually keep reaching and reaching and reaching because she wants it all. All the food, all the sleep, all the shit, and all the pleasure is what York wants. And I want to see what she looks like in one of those, celestial dragon robes. York could be the ultimate evil scientist, joining the government, joining the Marines for the final war. Also in this chapter, we get to see a little narrator talking about how everything leading up to this point in the story, chapter 1078, all of Egghead Island arc has really been just a setup for the big thing that's going to shock the whole world at Egghead Island. So that's why I think next chapter, unless we jump to something else, is going to be huge. If not that one, the following. These next two chapters are going to be key, possibly the last 2 or 3 chapters of this arc, depending on how quickly Oda wants to write it. He might go into full war, fucking Paramount War mode, and just have this army of hundreds of Marines show up on Egghead Island. Fight. This time, they have to fight the pacifistas. It'd be the opposite of Marineford. Instead of, Luffy and the gang coming in towards the middle, it'll be the Marines, Kizaru with a bunch of vice admirals in tow, probably including Tashigi and Smoker because they're close by, and more familiar faces, and Saturn leading the charge as our relatively Whitebeard version of a character coming in hot. Kizaru coming in hot. Kizaru versus Zorro. Luffy looks tired as... I mean, our crew is beat the fuck up right now. They need some time to rest. They don't stand a chance. Unless they get some backup, they need to run. That's really the only option here. They need to run. But my only thing... we've done a lot of build-up here. York is the Vegapunk. Great. Let's eliminate the rest of the Vegapunks. Just the Stella body and York. That's all I want. Everything else can get all blown up and whatnot. Nico Robin versus York would be a fun battle. I'd love to watch that. York is a big lady. She wouldn't be going down too easy, but maybe a big snap of the neck from, Dos Flos would be a good solution. We'll see. But my whole thing is I want all the Vegapunks destroyed. All the extra Vegapunks that have no purpose. We take regular Vegapunk or whatnot. Maybe York takes him. Whatever. Get rid of him. Keep him alive. Do whatever you want. He's served his purpose as well. Oh yeah, and Bonnie also is shown crying amongst the giant Kuma bubble. Still don't know what's going on there with that flashback ski. Ready to see that as well. Maybe now that the Germa 66 cover story's over, maybe Oda will just throw that backstory onto the cover. Just to fill time. I mean, we're in the last saga. I'd be okay with it if he wanted to throw that in every week. Just a piece and a piece and a piece of Kuma's, life and his history and where he comes from and all the pain that, Bonnie just saw and is crying over. And we can kind of piece it together later. It's an option. But it looks like it was really sad, whatever happened to Kuma as a child. And go forth. I want to find out why he decided to become, a cyborg. We still don't know what Kuma's doing right now. I mean, last time we saw him, he was climbing the red line getting shot at. So, Kuma could be in big trouble. I feel like Kuma's going to die soon. I think that's going to be a big thing that's going to happen very soon. Big shit's going down, people. This arc is much longer than I expected it to be. And it's just gotten better and better. There have been some lulls. But, seeing my boy Lucci and Kizaru back on the playing field again makes me happy. And I feel like next week or the week after, Kizaru will finally show up and finally maybe start a battle. Maybe Oda will give us a full-fledged fight to the death. Something we've been wanting to see, but every time he cuts away from the finish. And I get it with Kid and Law. Maybe he's saving that for something, a reveal down the line. But it's time. It's time. It's time. It is time for either Kizaru to step up as a major villain for the future of the series, or get his ass beat down by a member of the Straw Hat crew, showing just how strong they've become. Same with Luffy. He hasn't used his Gear 5 form in a hot minute since he fought Lucci, and maybe I'm wondering if he needs much more time to recover. It might be a 24-hour thing. Or maybe every time he transforms back into it, if he doesn't get a full night's sleep, it's weaker and weaker and weaker, and it takes more of a toll on his body. These are all big factors that we need to find out. And I cannot wait for Egghead Island to be animated by the anime, because the anime has been fucking fantastic right now in Wano. This is more Fanime. What did you think of Chapter 1078? I fucking loved it, and I'm ready. I'm ready for the big shocking reveal next week. York is the big traitor, not a big Shakaruski. I thought it might have been Shaka. I'm happy Shaka might be fully dead, but Oda, it's hard to believe anybody's dead until you see the body, and you see it not moving and not breathing, and you check the pulse, and you shoot it again just to be sure with Oda. Don't forget to comment down below. Let me know your thoughts and anything I might have missed. Subscribe. I'll talk to you later.